Hey, everybody, welcome to Shorthanded. We are going to get into the Western Conference Frozen Four. We can't call it anything else because we haven't quite started the Western Conference Championship. The exciting part about this is we get to talk about the teams that made it to the Final Four, the elite in the Western Conference, and I will call them elite, amazing, and all of those names because to get to the Final Four teams in the Western Conference, you had to eliminate a possible Stanley Cup winner. And we saw the best series in the Western Conference in the first round by far.
Yeah.
Two of those series were the Vegas Golden Knights being surprised by the Minnesota Wild. Minnesota Wild took them to 6 games. Each of those games were beyond entertaining. Minnesota Wild played beyond themselves. Hats off to them in the offseason. I was super happy for Minnesota Wild and their future. The other series was Edmonton versus the Kings. I feel completely different about the Kings than I do about the Wild.
Exactly.
They lost to Edmonton again. They had Edmonton dead to ropes in Game 3, and they lost it
stupid.
dead to ropes in Game 4. Lost it
was
then
a
Game
joke.
5 and 6. They just got beat.
Fire the coach.
No other way to put it. LA Kings, here's how I feel about you. Enjoy your sunny vacation on the beach. You live on the beach. It's beautiful there. Enjoy it. Hockey is not for the faint of heart. The LA Kings now join the other notable teams in LA that are no longer playing in the playoffs. The Lakers, the Clippers, and the Kings are all on a cruise outside of Santa Monica. I think they're going up the coast or down to Mexico because they don't want anyone to watch them. But that's what we have in LA. I'm so sad for LA. I know they suffer so much with so little championships.
Okay, because their coach sucks. Why would you challenge that? I'm still mad. And first off, the Oilers should have never won that series.
So here we are. The Oilers are on. The Oilers win the series. So that's my feelings about the losers. The Golden Knights versus the Edmonton Oilers. The exciting thing about this series to me is, if you recall, when the Golden Knights went to the Stanley Cup, I believe they went through the Edmonton Oilers to get there. Was that one of the? No,
Vegas?
No.
To the Stars.
It was. You're right. It went through the Stars.
Who went to that game?
It was the Avs that went through Edmonton to get to their cup, because the Edmonton Oilers went, and then last year the Oilers went to the cup and lost. So they're trying to get back to the cup.
Yeah.
Both of these teams are trying to get back to the cup. Only one of these teams wants to get another cup because Edmonton doesn't have one. As we would say to our Canadian friends, "Nani nani boo boo." We're so sad for you.
Yeah, no cup for Oilers because everyone sucks on that team. Vegas and 4. I'm not saying anymore. Screw this team.
So is this pure hatred?
This is pure hatred. I hate every single team. The most I hate the Capitals. But then we come down to the Oilers. Okay, I can explain why I hate the Oilers, but I'm not, because it's going to be in the 30-minute episode why I hate the Oilers and the Capitals, okay? But now we're going into the series, Edmonton Oilers versus the Las Vegas Golden Knights. Golden Knights have won a Stanley Cup 2 years ago, okay? So now they're a great playoff team, as we've seen, great expansion team. So now we're going into the Western Conference semifinals. If they win, they move on. But now it was not looking promising for them, obviously, in the first round against Minnesota. Minnesota showed them what they were, showed them that they were only seeded as a wild card team because of their injuries. Kaprizov came back. Eriksson Ek was there. They were buzzing, right? They won one in Las Vegas. But then I feel like Vegas, they just had a little edge on them. They got these calls that big offsides. I thought it was great how Fleury played. It was heartwarming, congrats to him, his whole career. But now Vegas, they won, and they got that overtime goal on Fleury. Then they won in Las Vegas, won in Minnesota. Now they're going to Edmonton. Vegas will have the home advantage, so that's obviously a plus for them, because you know how it is in Edmonton. Edmonton has not lost a game in these playoffs in Edmonton. So it's not looking promising because Vegas away, they got rocked in Minnesota.
And in all reality, Game 3 and Game 4.
Yeah, really, because
they should have been up 3-1. That
you
said offsides, and I just shook my head. That is the most brutal offsides.
Yeah, it's crazy.
In playoffs that I can recall.
Exactly. So now you're racing a hard Oilers team, which I think they have way more awareness than that play. I've said that they don't have a lot of depth. I feel like they proved I was wrong. And they got these guys that showed up. Evander Kane, Darnell Nurse, Matthias Janmark. I feel like that whole line has showed up in these playoffs. And just the way they have been moving the puck and fooling the defense, I don't know what Vegas can do. Obviously, Vegas is a great team, but just the way they've been looking, I feel like they need a huge bounce back. My heart wants Vegas. I love Vegas. I love the whole team. Las Vegas is a great city. They need to tighten up. They cannot let these people skate around the sides because that's all they need. These east to west passes. That's what they've been doing. They've been fooling the goaltender. Aiden Hill, I don't think is as good in these playoffs as Calvin Pickard, which might be a crazy thing to say.
Okay,
But
let's pause that statement. Say it again for all the people in the back who didn't hear you, because that is the craziest thing that you could have said before the start of the playoffs.
Aiden Hill might not be better than Calvin Pickard in these playoffs.
And
Why I
everyone would
say
go,
that?
"Who? Who is that? Who's that guy? Who
Exactly.
does he
Who is
play
Calvin
for?"
Pickard? Who is Calvin Pickard? Are you Calvin Pickard? I don't know. So, no, I'm not Calvin Pickard. He is 4-0 in these playoffs. I don't think Edmonton could
Unreal.
have done it without him. Yeah, obviously
And
Edmonton has
hold
been
on, in
great,
game
but
6, he stopped like 2 or 3 breakaways that were
crazy.
awesome good. He's not
That,
a
that,
big
that
goalie, but he gets
he's a short
big.
goalie, but he's really athletic and quick. There was a Warren Fogle breakaway for the Kings, which could have brought the game way closer than it was. And it was a game changer. And Calvin Pickard can obviously show up in these big moments. You're not playing in the regular season that much, so then you come into the playoffs and you just shut the Kings out, which I thought was great. So I think Oilers have a lot of energy coming into these playoffs. Vegas, when we were at the game, we went to the Western Conference Finals together in 2023. We saw Vegas play. Let me just say one thing. Vegas atmosphere in the playoffs is better than any other team. They have floating guys, fights on the ice, everything. You know how Las Vegas is. And when it comes to sports, it's crazy. So when it comes to atmosphere, I'm going to take Vegas, but the way they were looking against Minnesota is not promising. My heart is saying Vegas. My head is saying Edmonton. So as much, I'm gonna go with Vegas, and this game's gonna go. It is gonna go into 7, but realistically, I'm gonna take like Oilers in 5. But Vegas in 7.
I I agree with your head. I think this series is a lot less tight than the first opening series for the very reason that I thought. I think the Golden Knights look a little bit slow to me. The Golden Knights look a little bit older to me, and the Wild certainly pressed them a lot harder than they thought they were going to be pressed. I feel Edmonton is getting healthier. I believe they have a couple guys that are coming back from injury. And the goaltender situation, which everybody knows was a big question mark going into the playoffs, I feel got answered. And if you were going to say who feels really, really good, like if you were going to say before the series, did the Wild have a chance to win the cup or did the LA Kings? I would say the LA Kings have a legit shot to win the cup. I would have said the Wild, it's too early, they're too young. And so
Yeah.
the LA Kings couldn't get beyond Edmonton, which again, my heart said, beat them. Show me that you can beat Edmonton. They did not. So Edmonton is going to go to the Golden Knights, and I feel like this is going to be like, you just watched Edmonton win 4 in a row. This could be a possible 4 or 5 game series. I feel that strongly about how Edmonton's playing. I just feel like when you see that snowball momentum, I feel like it's a snowball momentum. I know they haven't played in a little bit, but it just felt that way. The way the Edmonton Oilers were celebrating after the win in Game 5, the win in Game 6. Game 3 and 4, if they won Game 5 and 6 the way they won Games 3 and 4 with like go to overtime, down 5-3, get totally outmatched for 2 periods, Game 5 and 6, I feel like they figured it out. They're like, oh, this is
Yeah.
how you play hockey. This is how you play with a lead. And so I feel like that's bad for the Golden Knights as well. So
Yeah. You've
what I
seen
am I
like
upset about either of these teams winning? Do I hate either of these teams? No, I like them. But if you were going to say who am I cheering for in my heart on this one, I really do enjoy Edmonton. I like watching McDavid. I want to watch more McDavid. So I'm cheering for the Edmonton Oilers to move on to the Western Conference Finals and win in the Frozen Face-Off against the Golden Knights.
and you've seen like everyone was saying how bad the superstars for Vegas was. Later in the series, Eichel had many assists, a goal. Mark Stone had a
Yep.
goal. William Karlsson and Gino. So when it comes down to how your superstars show up, I think Vegas obviously turned that notch up a bit, but nothing beats Edmonton in LA. And coming off of Edmonton in LA, it was close last year against the Canucks. I can't believe the Canucks didn't finish it off. But then you have Edmonton now in the second round again, but now against Vegas. I think Vegas is a much better team and complete team than the Canucks, but it's I just think in these playoffs, it's just much different than what they were 2 years ago. I don't feel like they're showing up and living to their full potential. When you're having these nail biters against the Wild, it's going to be blown out against the Oilers. Oilers are just too good of a playoff team. I feel like their power play and how Evan Bouchard is playing, he's going to be like the heart of this series. His one timer, and oh my goodness, they just have lines on lines. I love how their depth has been working through and just coming off of like these superstar lines. So like when it comes down to just like just firepower and just like bringing things to the net, I have Oilers.
I think with both teams going to the Stanley Cup, they both understand you cannot get there with one line. You have to get there with multiple lines. The other thing
Exactly.
that I feel really strongly about this year compared to last year for the Oilers, I feel like their second and third lines are really stepping up scoring more and providing more scoring opportunities and really providing some offensive kick, not just the first line. And I do like how the Oilers kind of mixed and matched some of their first lines, kind of blended them into the other territories, similar to another Western Conference Final Four team. So I have the Oilers in 5. You have the Golden Knights in 6. Did you have them winning on the road or a set? No, you have 7 at home, right?
Yeah, I got them 7 at home. My head says Edmonton and 5 though, so I'll take those both.
Well, there you go, folks. And that is our first preview of the Western Conference as we get ready for these playoffs. Would you be surprised with the Golden Knights at home? My feeling is if the Oilers are ahead 2-0 going back to home, I would feel the same way like I felt about the Florida Panthers. Like this series looks like it's over.
Yeah, and
And
the fans are just going to be nervous-ish.
if
Kind
it's
of.
if it's 2-0 Golden Knights, I don't feel like it's over. Like I just feel
I
like until that fourth game is done and Edmonton is out, that's when I'll know Edmonton's out.
Yeah, exactly.
Just because even when they're down 5-3, they'll pull their goalie and they'll score 2-3 goals. I just don't understand it. I don't get it. This is the team that's like, we got another life. And that just makes you feel it makes the belief even stronger with the team.
Exactly.
That is Nick and Nick's picks, and I'm Brendan. Brendan's bombs. Thanks everybody for joining us in Shorthanded. Bye now.